walking into this track as a kid, with your dad and the memories you have there, and maybe now the appreciation you have for it now being a Cup driver every time you come here?
Yeah, this place is special. It's called the Last Great Coliseum, and it definitely lives up to the name, right? As soon as you walk in here, just the stadium feel of it all, and then once you get on the racetrack, just how fast it is. It's kind of different because we ran at the LA Coliseum, and that has the same stadium feel, but just how different the track is, right? With the banking here, how fast you're going, it gives you a great sensation of the speed, and you're just right on the ragged edge at all times. So the racing's fun. It's very on edge, like I said, but then the fans are really cool too because you're fairly close to the fans, just how small it is, and obviously I think there's not a bad seat in this whole place, so that makes it a lot of fun.
How difficult is it to prep, having a complete unknown of how, the PJ1 will react when you guys get on there?
Yeah, that is one thing that is always kind of an unknown with track treatment. You never fully know, but I feel like we have a good enough notebook to go off of here that, the PJ1 has been fairly consistent. I think, last spring it was resin on the racetrack, so it's very similar, right? We've never had issues with resin in the past, and we did here, but it's back to PJ1, kind of more of a known factor, and obviously temperatures are very cold this weekend, so that could play a little bit of a factor, and heating up the PJ1 and all that stuff. It seems like it takes, probably 5-10 laps of everyone running on it to really get to its maximum potential of grip. So we'll see. I don't think you'll see anything crazy though today.
Thank you.
Christopher actually mentioned he thought the PJ looked narrower this year than it has in years past. Have you kind of noticed that same thing? And if so, how does that affect the race plan?
Yeah, I think that was always their plan of just doing it on the bottom 4 feet of the racetrack. So for a while when they first went to the PJ1, it was pretty much exactly 1 car width wide. So you would have to hit the bottom to get all 4 tires in it, but you could pretty easily, at one point in the corner or another, hit all 4 tires in it. Where here now it's just, like I said, I think the bottom 4 feet or something like that. So your left sides are in it, which makes it that much more important to hit the bottom of the racetrack with that left side of the car. I feel like eventually it kind of gets drug up a little bit as guys kind of enter in the bottom and then kind of slide up. It probably slides a little bit of the PJ1 up, maybe a little bit. So maybe we'll see it widen out a little bit just by looks. But overall, I think it's a good idea, right? It's going to have a lot of grip on the bottom, but I think with just that 4 feet, I think it'll probably wear out a little bit quicker, and you'll have a multi-groove racetrack.
They were cutting cords, or at least cording some tires, pretty early in that truck race. Now that the rubber's down on the track, do you guys think you may deal with that same thing or not?
To me, it's pretty common at Bristol that you see cords, and in the truck series, especially here, track position is so important. So they mention it on the broadcast a lot, but those guys had opportunities to pit, and usually that 35 lap competition caution or whatever it was last night, you would want to pit if it was practice or something because the tires would be super worn out. Where those guys were trying to risk it and go long, and some guys paid the price and got to cords. So, but when this place is green, and obviously it rained all day yesterday, so I feel like that's not too out of the ordinary, but I don't necessarily expect us to have that maybe on the first run of practice.
Going on.
What's up, Ryan? Ryan, every Bristol race comes with its own set of challenges. From what you've seen so far, what do you think the biggest challenge is going to be this weekend?
I think we're yet to see that, to be honest with you. I think the first stage or 2 stages of that truck race last night kind of made us all wonder if we were going to see what we saw last year, right? With them cording tires. Makes you wonder if we're going to cord tires. So it's just how we need to play the race, So I'm excited about that because that's just another tool in the toolbox that some of us have, and understanding the situations you're in. So I'm excited about it, and yeah, anytime we have some of that, it can make it exciting for the fans, exciting for us drivers, and yeah.
Despite the results at Darlington, all 3 RFK Fords had top 10 speed, so does it feel like that's all coming to a head this weekend where you guys are notoriously very good at?
Yeah, I love Bristol, and last week if that caution didn't come out when it did, I felt like we were all going to end up with top 10s or potentially top 5s. We all had really good speed. So that was exciting to see. And, we joked after qualifying when we qualified second, when I went across the line and saw that lap, I was like, oh, it is possible. And, I felt Derek felt the same way. So for us, it's building a lot of momentum, building a lot of confidence in each other. And I'm excited to see what, obviously today or today and tomorrow brings. But May, June, July, August, those are the tough, grueling months, and all places that in the past I wasn't too excited about, but just given the situation and how this team's coming together and the support, it's been really good. So I'm excited about it.
Without giving away the secret, it's just when you prepare for a track, team meetings for a track you guys are good at. Just what is the vibe like around, and just how detailed are those meetings get when it's a track that's you guys are good at versus one where you guys have work to do?
What I've liked is each one of us has something that the other one could use to a certain extent. Brad's super detailed. Chris is, just really, really freaking really good, at road courses and mile and a halfs. And, I'm good at short tracks. And I feel like we all complement what the program is working to be. So, yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. That and the willingness of all of us to, push each other. I think that was we actually went on a team bike ride here, and all of us bike a lot, right? But it was just funny. Like when we were all racing to get back before the rain, each one of us tried putting it in high gear and pushing, and going faster than one another, and that was the thing I liked about it.
Thank you.
You talked about this grueling summer schedule coming up, 28 straight weeks of racing. How do you prepare for that? And kind of just tell me what your mindset has to be to get through that big of a stretch.
So for me, I feel like a lot of us that when we raced, whether it be weekly, regionally, or whatever it is, we were racing 3-4 nights a week. And on top of it, you were running all the way from, the end of March all the way until November. So I feel like I've been ready for it, since I was doing that, and it's something I enjoy. So, yeah, it can be tough because, even though we're only racing one day on Sunday, you're gone from Thursday to Sunday. So trying to have a good balance there. But, I love this. I live it and breathe it, and, everything about racing. So to me, it's life.
All the stuff the driver has to do. Has that helped, or you see that that's going to help?
For sure, this is Cheddar's second week, but he's been very helpful so far, and I'm glad that we, were fortunate to get him, and I'm very excited to work with Cheddar. I think he's done such a good job so far, so I'm excited for what the future holds, and to watch him do his job, and to finally have him on my team is really cool.
And PJ1 for the drivers who are young is that where you like playing with it? You're kind of a student of the sport, and maybe if you're a veteran driver, you're like,
You say PJ1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that some drivers didn't like it at first. Now they're getting used to it. You guys have been kind of growing up with it, into the sport.
I've always ran with it, but I don't really care what it is. I mean, it's what it is, and sometimes it doesn't work that good. Sometimes it does work good. It's a little cold here, so it might not work great, but maybe that makes us move around too. So we'll see. I don't know. Figure it out there in practice.
Go get
Thank
them.
you.
To the point of Cheddar and just adding more depth to this team and experience, it's a new group around you this year, and everyone's still trying to learn each other. But with as green as it is, when you have a veteran experience like that come on board, how significant can that be for, even if it's not just at the racetrack, but behind the scenes, just to help kind of guide things in a more firm or experienced direction?
Yeah, it's really important, especially for the guys as well. Having somebody that's I feel like our guys are relatively new and are new into the sport, so into cup racing. So it's definitely very valuable to have kind of a veteran guy that's been doing it for a long time, have a lot of great success and great experience to be along with our team. It's really, really helpful.
You've seen your fair share of races here now, and every Bristol race, it seems, has its own different set of challenges. Judging from the truck race and the Xfinity laps we've seen, what do you think that big challenge is this weekend?
The big challenge, right now it seems like it's really cold outside, and the PJ1 is, likes to have a little bit of heat to activate sometimes, and so we'll probably be moving around a little bit more than what we have, but Bristol is Bristol, and it's always really fun.
Several guys think that the PJ is a little narrower this year than it has been in years past. Have you noticed that too?
Sometimes it looks like that because when it goes down, it's a little clear sometimes, and the way the rubber gets laid down in concrete when it's cold, it's kind of always different, and it always looks weird. That's why Dover's sometimes is just completely white, or it's really, really rubbered over. And I think that maybe make it look visually different, but maybe it is narrow. I don't know. We'll see.
My Place Hotels is proud to be the official hotel partner of Front Stretch. With plush beds, in-room kitchens, and pet-friendly hotels, My Place makes for the perfect pit stop when traveling. Front Stretch fans can use promo code FRONTSTRETCH to save 10% on your stay at any of our nationwide properties. Sign up for our Stay Rewarded program to get even more savings. With My Place Hotels, don't just stay, stay rewarded.
Steven Stump of FrontStretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.